In recent times, America has been in the debt. But before we talk about that, bread talk, where we talk that bread on this channel. Now, coming in with the reaction. I've been seeing these types of videos a lot. A little bit of the more of the copycat side of YouTube, where people will see something and once it's a trend in the market, they start copying. But this is actually serious. I mean, at least copycatting does come to a degree of seriousness, and that is the buy now pay later bubble is about to explode. I've been seeing a lot of this buy now pay later stuff, and I like that as Mongold's title. It was buy now pay never. Everything is free. Let's get it.
When you click Pay in 4 at checkout and that $200 jacket suddenly becomes just $50, you're part of a $500 billion debt bubble. When you click
Hold on. Already kicking this shit up pretty high. What?
Pay in 4 at checkout and that $200 jacket suddenly becomes just $50, you're part of a $500 billion debt bubble that's starting to crack. The stores you shop at are seeing their profit margin shrink just to let you split the payment. So they add to prices across the board. That's a hidden tax on every single thing you buy.
What the heck?
Should stop calling that a free payment plan because everyone's paying for it.
Wow.
One of the key BNPL players lost $99 million last quarter. Another one burned through $1.3 million every single day last year. Three other companies collapsed in the last year. OpenPay left merchants with $18.2 million in losses. Laybuy's failure hit 4,200 businesses. When Kiwi Bank faced $30 million in exposure from just one BNPL company, they realized this isn't sustainable. The way you pay for everything is about to dramatically change, because what started as a clever way to afford things has become a financial time bomb, and you need to understand it before it explodes.
Whoa. I didn't think it would be that serious, man. I mean, do people really fall for this buy now, pay later stuff? Personally, I mean, I wouldn't, I mean, the only thing I would ever really buy now and pay later is either maybe like a car, I guess. I don't know. Maybe like a house, right? I'm going into this with not really much knowledge. This video is definitely, in the first minute, is already showing me that I know nothing. Like, I know actually nothing about economics. I know nothing about paying. I know nothing about money. I don't know shit. I gotta learn that though. That's what's gonna help me. And it's like, why the fuck would you buy fucking, I don't know, a t-shirt that's about, let's say, $100, right? But they'll say, oh, no. You could just buy it for $50 right now. And you can just have the t-shirt, and over time you'll be paying $5. Is that what buy now, pay later is? Let's see.
Buy now, pay later didn't appear by accident. It emerged from a perfect storm of financial crisis,
Also, this is also putting us in massive debt, and it's increasing the crap out of prices too. Like, literally, it is going to put us in massive debt and increase the crap out of prices. The economy just keeps getting worse and worse because people are just stupid. It's crazy because everybody's going to complain about something, point fingers this way, point fingers that way. But the moment it's just time to literally just own up for themselves and just say, man, I fucked up. No one can do that. Not a single person can just say, damn, I fucked up.
Technology and changing consumer behavior. The 2008 financial crisis fundamentally changed how banks viewed consumer credit. Credit card approvals plummeted. Young adults watched their parents drown in 29% APR credit card debt. They wanted something different. But the real accelerant came in 2020. The pandemic shifted the world online overnight. E-commerce jumped 5 years forward in 3 months. Everyone was shopping from home, flush with stimulus money. But psychologically scarred by uncertainty, BNPL was perfectly positioned. The pandemic didn't create the pressure, it revealed it. When rent goes up 20%, but salaries rise 3%, people get desperate. 64% of Americans now live paycheck to paycheck, including six-figure earners in expensive cities. BNPL didn't create this squeeze, it exploited it. Swedish company Klarna launched in 2005, but remained small until these forces converged. Then everything changed. In the US alone, BNPL volume exploded from $2 billion in 2019 to $24 billion in 2021.
God damn. That's a 1,200% increase, I believe. Holy hell.
An 1,100% increase. In just 2 years, the industry grew 12 times larger. That's not organic growth, that's a gold rush. When you buy now, pay later, you're not the customer, you're the product. BNPL companies are selling more sales, and it's delivered to merchants.
What is a BNPL company? Let's search that up real quick. What is a BNPL company? Oh, buy now, pay later companies. I mean, at least y'all got to see my slowness on camera. Oh my god, my fault, y'all. Oh shit, probably have to cut this one out. Oh, so many fucking tabs. All right, yeah, that's insane. Oh my goodness, wow.
At 6%. BNPL companies are selling more sales, and it's delivered to merchants at 6% premium. The psychology was brilliant. Traditional credit cards remind you of debt with every monthly statement. You see that balance. You feel that weight. BNPL reframed the narrative. This wasn't debt, it was smart budgeting. The numbers prove the psychological shift worked. BNPL increases average order values by 30%. People spend nearly a third more just because they can split the payment. For
Jesus. Seriously. Man, are people this slow? They clearly see something as clearly crazy and scammy as hell, and they don't just say, I need to chill out and not actually go through with this system because it's going to put me in massive debt. I'm going to always forget to pay. And I don't actually have the stuff in front of me, and it can also get taken away from me. And this is also another thing. Ownership is a huge thing right now. The power of ownership has gone down so hard now that everything is moved into digital, and now that everything is digital, because with video games, right? Most games like CDs are starting to get slowly, CDs are just becoming a worse and worse company. Over time, niggas don't buy CDs. If they see a game, they just order it straight off of Steam or Xbox, whatever the hell they're playing on. But the thing is that you don't own it. You just buy access to play the game. You're not actually buying the game. You don't own the actual game. You're just buying access to it. And this happened not too long ago with Funimation and Crunchyroll. I think Funimation switched over to Crunchyroll. And the people that wanted to get things that they bought on Funimation, they couldn't. Because it's switching over to Crunchyroll, so they just had to say, fuck it. It is what it is. And it's ownership. They want us to own nothing. The goal of these all this shit with America is for Americans to literally just own nothing. They always want us starving. They always want us starving to death so that they can just fuck us up every single time. That's what they want. It's crazy.
Retailers, the math seems simple. Pay 6% in fees, get 30% more revenue. What could go wrong? Everything. The business model had one fatal flaw. BNPL companies make zero money from consumers who pay on time. No interest, no fees, nothing. Their entire revenue depends on two sources: merchant fees and late payment penalties. Klarna alone collected $254 million in reminder fees last year. This creates
Jesus. Y'all nigga, what are y'all buying? How are you fiending that hard for something? You will pay, let's say it costs $50. You pay $25 for that shit. You forget to fucking pay the extra 25. Don't you clearly see that that's a fucking scam, my nigga? Like, niggas really just want a cheap way out of this shit. They just can't do the most basic shit. And these be niggas with degrees and shit. They be having the most degrees, the most knowledge, the most talking points, the most arguments, and they can't even get past something this simple. It's so crazy. Like, I would never argue my ass off if I'm a nigga like this. This is insanity, bruh. How could you fall for something so simple?
Reverse incentive. BNPL companies need you to use their service repeatedly, but they also profit when you fail. They've built a business model around that, and the psychology is brilliant. Traditional credit cards remind you of debt with every monthly statement. You see that.
BNPL is replacing credit cards. That's what it's doing. It's replacing it's rebranding American debt in a much better light. Huh. That's so smart. But what does debt do for the government? That's a very good question. I need to write that down. What does debt do for government? I could think about that. That's something like what does that do for them? Like, how does that improve their end on things? Like, does that make us work more? Like, what does that do? Because all this is just putting us in massive debt. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is brilliant. Traditional credit cards remind you of debt with every monthly statement. You see that balance, you feel that weight. With BNPL, it's not in debt, it's smart budgeting, right? By 2021, the average BNPL user had accounts with multiple providers. The stage was set for what researchers now call the normalization of continuous debt. But you're not budgeting, you're being programmed. Scientists have scanned people's brains.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If you fall for this, bro, I can't lie. I want to refrain from, hurting people's feelings, But I'm sorry, bro. You're just pretty stupid. Like how are you falling for this? Like, it's obvious. Like, if you buy now and pay later, like, what? You don't actually own it. Like, you don't own it. Not only do you not own it, but you're also gonna have to pay completely, and you might forget. And like, if you're 9 times out of 10, if you're under this system, you probably just spent all your money. So if something costs $50 and you only got $30 in your account, you pay for it for the 30, you still need to pay back that 20 even though you got no money. And it's like, yo, like, anyone who falls for this is just, I'm not gonna lie, pretty slow.
Programmed. Man. Scientists have scanned people's brains while shopping. When you see a $100 price tag, your brain's pain center, the insula, lights up like you're experiencing physical pain. But show that same brain $25 today, the pain vanishes. BNPL companies literally.
Really? Oh, wow. And there was a quote from Vontu Cut. He said, "People don't actually like money. They just love what money can do." And it's like, I mean, that's so freaking true, but to this extent? My nigga, I don't feel that shit in my brain. All right, like, if I know something that costs $100 and it just said $25 today, my nigga, that doesn't mean it's on sale. It's not 75% off. That shit isn't 75% off. You told me you can pay for it, you can have it, you can use it now for $25, and then you still got to pay that $75 later. Nah, hell nah. How do niggas fall for this?
Literally hack your neurological response to spending. This is called temporal discounting. Your brain treats those 3 future payments like they're someone else's problem. For thousands of years, humans survived by prioritizing immediate needs over future ones. BNPL exploits this ancient wiring. The companies understand this psychology perfectly, reducing payment friction and minimizing checkout anxiety. They're selling psychological permission to overspend. And every company wants in, right? Traditional finance lets you borrow to buy a car. BNPL's innovation was to let you borrow to buy a burrito. You borrow to overspend.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So, I mean, obviously, we want ourselves, like, when it comes to huge payments, a car. Nobody has $60,000 up front for a fucking car. That's insane. So, we have a down payment. Nobody has $400,000 for a fucking house. That's insane. You pay a down payment, you save up, and then you're slowly paying the mortgage off. That's normal. But why the fuck should be there should be a mortgage to a fucking Xbox? Why the fuck should there be a mortgage to a PC? Why the fuck should there be a mortgage to a goddamn TV? Why? It's a TV. Just pay for it. You got $100 up front. I mean, or not, that's not 100. You got like $500 up front. Okay, a PC, that's a little crazy. That is a big purchase. But nigga, this shit should not even exist. This BNPL shit should not exist for anything that's below $2,000, bro. You should have $2,000 saved up. If you have a nice corporate job or a job and you're not paying much bills, nigga, you should have $2,000 saved up. If you don't, that's your ass. I don't know how the fuck you don't got $2,000 saved up, but it's whatever.
And every company wants in, right? Traditional finance lets you borrow to buy a car. BNPL's innovation was to let you borrow to buy a burrito. Now, you're subscriptionifying your entire life without realizing it. That jacket isn't just a purchase anymore. It's a monthly service. Your whole wardrobe becomes Netflix. Each payment plan...
All right, now we're talking. Okay, like I know my brain is not that smart. You feel me? So these comparisons, you know, him using all those economic terms and definitions, it really like destroyed the speed of my brain. You know, I need to slow down. I need something that'll make me laugh. A few jokes, a few comparisons. Buy now and pay later is America's biggest problem, and this will lead us to complete debt. Your jacket is no longer a jacket that you just own, you just wear. It now becomes literally Netflix. That's a great I like that. And people are falling for this? I mean, godly. I mean, the fact that people are this dumb is just really, like, shocking to me. But I could never fall for this. Like, this is something, man, motherfucker, I see the price. I would never pay a monthly subscription to a fucking t-shirt, my nigga. Or a fucking pair of jeans, a pair of shoes. What else, man? I don't know, bro. I can't. I don't know. A burrito? Like what?
Adds another recurring charge to your mental load. Now here's where it gets dark. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau data shows 43% of BNPL users have missed payments. Look around you. Nearly half of everyone using BNPL has already failed to pay on time. 1 in 3.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know a single nigga right now. I don't know a nigga near. I don't know. I don't be talking to niggas like that. But I don't know a nigga near me using if a nigga near me is using buy now and pay later, that nigga, I don't fuck with that nigga no more. There is just no way you should be using the system. This shit is clear as day. What the fuck is about to happen, nigga? If I paid $50 for this pen, and I say, you know what, let me get this shit right now for $25. And nigga, I don't own this pen. I don't own it. I could use it. It's like it literally is a subscription. You don't own the pen, my nigga. You don't own it. You just have access to it now. You still don't own it yet. You still got to pay that extra $25. So what are we talking about? How are niggas falling for this? And it's crazy because he talked about how one of the biggest points I heard was he said when we pay for that initial, like, let's say we pay for that price that they said we could pay for, like if it's $100 and it says $25, we pay the $25 and we leave. They just view the $75 as someone else's problem. That is crazy as hell to me. Things like this have never happened to me, so like it's just insane. Like, What the heck?
paid late in the past year. Among those who use multiple BNPL services, the rates are even higher. When payments fail, the cascade begins. You miss one $40 payment, the app tries again. Your account overdraws. That's a $35 bank fee plus an $8 BNPL fee. Now you're $83 in the hole from a $40 payment. One small mistake becomes a financial avalanche. When payments fail, the cascade begins. But the real trap is loan stacking. The data is staggering.
And these
60% of BNPL users juggle multiple active payment plans. Nearly a third, 32%, manage 3 or more simultaneously. Different due dates, different amounts. It's a mental juggling act that's designed to fail. The most alarming trend shows how far it got. BNPL for necessities. 1 in 6 users, 16%, now finance food delivery. Klarna's partnership with DoorDash means you can split a $15.
Why should there be a buy now and pay later on food, nigga? Why, nigga, you better pay that $15 right now. It's crazy because they don't profit, and he said this earlier, they don't profit from people who pay on time. If you do things on time, they don't profit from you. It's pretty insane, bro. Let me pause real quick. Low-key gotta see. Alright, we're back. I just had to see if my PC was gonna like turn off the video or whatever.
Burrito in partnership with DoorDash means you can split a $15 burrito into 4 payments of $3.
What the fuck?
$3.75. We're micro.
Bro, hell nah. There's no way people are falling for this. This is insanity. Imagine, right? I don't know, a Big Mac. How much does a Big Mac cost? Like $5, $6? Wait, does it? A Big Mac, I think it costs like $5. Imagine your ass said, I'm gonna pay $1.50 for this Big Mac. Like, nigga, just pay the $5. You don't got $5, nigga? You don't got $5, bro. Let's say a Big Mac meal is like $10. If you could only pay $2.50, nigga, what? Nigga, like what?
Financing lunch. When society normalizes splitting the cost of a meal into installments, we've crossed a dangerous line. It's desperation dressed up as convenience. This shift from discretionary to essential spending reveals BNPL's true nature. But who's paying for that?
Holy crap. Oh, okay.
BNPL's true nature. But who's paying for that? While you're feeling clever about splitting payments, retailers are bleeding money. Every BNPL transaction costs retailers 4 to 8% versus 1.5 to 3% for credit cards. Let me show you exactly what this means. Take a $100 purchase at any store. With a credit card payment, the customer pays $100. The card processor takes a $2.50 fee, so the retailer receives $97.50. With BNPL, the fee is $6, so retailers receive $94. That $3.50 difference per transaction is massive. For businesses operating on 8 to 10% profit margins, BNPL fees can shrink profitability entirely. But it gets worse. The contracts BNPL providers force on retailers explicitly forbid surcharges for their users. Retailers legally cannot pass these fees to BNPL customers. So, what would they do? They would raise prices for everyone. What if BNPL added to retail prices across the board? Cash
and wow, this is why free money and lowering prices destroys the economy. This is exactly why lowering the price to things and free money will destroy the economy. This is why. Holy shit.
For everyone. What if BNPL added to retail prices across the board? Cash customers are subsidizing BNPL users' shopping habits, but payment delays compound the damage. Credit card processors deposit funds within 24 to 48 hours. BNPL companies promise 3 to 5 business days, but frequently take longer. For small businesses managing tight cash flows, those delays can mean missing payroll or supplier payments. The Australian market gives us a preview.
Jesus. So this is why Trump did the tariffs, because they knew that this would cut, like, nigga, we can't pay the people supplying our shit. If we are paying a supplier from like motherfucking China, nigga, we can't pay them anymore because the niggas who are paying for it aren't even paying for it all the way. And the buy now, pay later system is fucking that shit up. It's like, yo, like, oh, that's crazy, bro.
Of the coming collapse. When OpenPay failed in February 2023, they left behind $18.2 million in operating losses. Merchants who thought they'd been paid, they weren't. The money was gone. Laybuy's bankruptcy was even worse. 4,200 merchants and 766,000 customers left scrambling. One craft store owner reported losing $790 on just one transaction.
What the fuck?
Multiply that across thousands of businesses. Kiwi Bank's $30 million exposure to Laybuy sent shockwaves through the financial system. This wasn't some small startup failing. This was systemic risk becoming reality. Unlike credit card processors backed by major banks with FDIC insurance and reserve requirements, BNPL companies offer zero merchant protection. When they fail, merchants eat the losses. And it's not hard to see why they're failing. Here's the dirty secret of BNPL. They lose money on every single transaction. Not sometimes, not on risky customers, every single transaction. Let me show you the math that's killing these companies. Klarna, the industry's largest player, just posted these numbers. Q1 2024 revenue of $621 million, but losses of $99 million. That more than doubled from last year. Their workforce has been slashed from 5,000 to 3,500 employees.
Oh my God.
With plans to cut down to 2,000 using AI. Their CEO admitted they need to fire 60% of their workforce just to approach profitability.
Jeez. Shout out to this nigga who's explaining it, man. Buy now, pay later will destroy this economy. Free money and lowering prices destroys an economy, bro. When we had COVID, they started handing stimulus checks to everybody. Everybody. Some niggas 1,400 per person in the family. I remember when we got our stimulus checks, nigga, we went to Las Vegas. Like, what? That's tough. Like, all that shit is destroying America because now we have to pay the price for it. We paid the price through fucking inflation. Every time, how money works, bro, nigga, the more money you get, bro, the more you gotta pay for it, bro. The more money everybody has, the more y'all gotta pay. Nigga, now $1 is worth nothing. Because of this. That fucks up the economy. Niggas keep spending. No. The spending. Overly spending on everything, bro. And this just took it to a whole new level. Not only would niggas be spending so much on things that they don't even have, now the supplier has to work 10 times harder. And now no one is going to get work. There will be no workers. Because niggas are not making money from, like, it's just debt.
To fire 60%.
Because, nigga, the people who are buying now and paying never, they're not getting the money. They're not getting the price of what things are worth.
Of their workforce just to approach profitability. That's not optimization. That's desperation. But here's why it's mathematically impossible for them to succeed. On a typical $100 BNPL transaction, they collect a $6 merchant fee. After paying 50 cents in processing costs, $1.50 for customer service, $2.40 for fraud and defaults at their 2.4% rate, and $2 for technology and overhead, they're left with a net loss of 40 cents. These businesses are money incinerators. The funding structure makes it even worse. BNPL companies borrow from institutional investors at 5 to 7% interest.
Dang.
Then lend to consumers at 0%. During the easy money era, investors tolerated these losses because they believed in growth. But rising interest rates changed everything. Borrowing at 7% to lend at 0% while eating 2.4% in defaults isn't a business model. It's a death spiral. The default rates hide an ugly truth. BNPL companies tout 2 to 3% default rates, but look closer. These are measured on 6 to 8 week loans. If annualized, that would be catastrophic. Automatic payments mask true delinquency until users' bank accounts run dry. Users who can't pay get blocked from future purchases.
Dang.
Creating hidden defaults. So much so, it started to be noticed. Without interest income to offset losses, BNPL companies have only one option: grow or die. But growth is expensive. Customer acquisition costs run $25 to $40 per user. With average transactions of $135, they need multiple purchases just to break even on acquiring you. The death spiral has begun. To grow, they must approve more risky customers. More risky customers means higher defaults. Higher defaults mean bigger losses. Bigger losses mean more desperate measures. We've seen this movie before. Subprime mortgages in 2008. Payday loans. The pattern never changes. Easy credit, explosive growth, sudden collapse.
And we're about to we might experience a market crash. 2026 could be a huge market crash, bro.
The free-for-all is over. Regulators have finally woken up to what BNPL really is: credit. And they're bringing the hammer down. But first, understand this.
Oh man, that credit score of yours, man. It's probably 100. It's probably less than 100, bro. Like, this is bad credit, bro. Because what the fuck? Like, just pay that shit in full, dog.
BNPL companies structured their products to dodge the 1968 Truth in Lending Act by keeping loans under certain thresholds. Credit cards must disclose all costs up front. BNPL, they found the loophole. Less protection for you, more flexibility for them. That loophole is closing. 2024 marked the turning point. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau ruled BNPL must follow the same rules as credit cards. Full disclosure of all fees and terms, standardized cost comparisons, dispute resolution processes, refund protections. For companies already losing money on every transaction, these compliance costs, estimated at $2 to $3 per transaction, are devastating. The crackdown is global. The UK now requires mandatory affordability checks before approval.
Dang.
Australia has fully integrated BNPL into their national credit code. The EU's Consumer Credit Directive now covers all BNPL services. The regulatory arbitrage that lets BNPL companies operate in the shadows, gone. Banks smell blood in the water. They're moving in for the kill. Chase launched My Chase Plan, BNPL using existing credit lines. American Express created Planet. Citi rolled out FlexPay. Apple tried Apple Pay Later, failed, then partnered with Affirm. The bank's advantages are crushing. They have millions of existing customers and can borrow at near zero from depositors.
Dang.
They operate with diversified revenue streams, decades of regulatory compliance, and actually profitable business models. Industry consolidation is accelerating exactly as predicted. Moody's warned, few BNPL companies will remain independent. They're being proven right. Square bought Afterpay for $29 billion, now worth far less. OpenPay went bankrupt. Lay-by collapsed. Others are desperately seeking buyers. The survivors are abandoning the pay-in-4 model entirely. Klarna pushes 6 to 24-month loans with interests. They're becoming exactly what they claimed to replace. But if consumer BNPL fails, what about B2B BNPL? Businesses are now using buy now, pay later for inventory, equipment, even payroll. The volume is staggering, expected to hit $669 billion by 2029. But when a consumer misses a payment on sneakers, they lose shoes. When a business can't pay for inventory it already sold, entire supply chains collapse. Imagine a retail.
Damn. So basically businesses are about to start going down. If this continues, businesses are going to continue to go down. How do we combat this? Bro, can we not just integrate the system at all? Because we can't pay nothing. If no one is paying the price for what it actually is, we can't pay any suppliers. Businesses are just about to start going bankrupt and they're just going to be worth less? Is that?
Retailer using BNPL to stock inventory, selling it, then the BNPL company fails before paying the supplier. The supplier can't pay for inventory it already sold, entire supply chains collapse. Imagine a retailer using BNPL to stock inventory, selling it, then the BNPL company fails before paying the supplier. The supplier doesn't get paid. The retailer can't restock. Customers can't buy. One BNPL failure could freeze entire industries. Within 24 months, the BNPL landscape will be unrecognizable. The survivors will be indistinguishable from the credit card companies they claim to disrupt.
Dang.
The revolution is over. Traditional credit won. Someone has to pay for all those split payments. The question is, who? When a BNPL...
Imagine it's just multiple companies. The thing was costed $100. Niggas only paid $50. Nigga, now they are this is actively losing money. You are just in an active process of losing money. You are just in an active process. Bro, what are niggas doing, bro? How is this system ever even possible? I guess this helps the recession because this allows but we're not paying the supplier though. This just puts America in even more debt. This just keeps on putting us in debt.
L company fails. Here's what happens. Option 1, retailers eat the loss. This is what happened with OpenPay, Lay-by, and Genoa Pay. Retailers who thought they'd been paid discovered the money never arrived. $18.2 million in losses, 4,200 businesses affected, zero recourse. Unlike credit card processors backed by banks with FDIC insurance, BNPL companies offer no merchant protection. When they fail, retailers simply don't get paid for products already delivered. Option 2, debt gets sold to collections. The BNPL company's remaining assets, including your payment obligations, get sold to debt collectors for pennies on the dollar. Retailer BNPL companies offer no merchant protection. When they fail, retailers simply don't get paid for products already delivered. Option 2, debt gets sold to collections. The BNPL company's remaining assets, including your payment obligations, get sold to debt collectors for pennies on the dollar. You still owe the money, but now to aggressive collection agencies who add fees and damage credit scores. This is already happening. Failed BNPL companies' loan portfolios are being packaged and sold to the highest bidder. Option 3, banks absorb and transform them. Square bought Afterpay. Banks are launching their own versions. When traditional finance absorbs BNPL, they add what was always missing: interest rates. Your pay-in for becomes a credit card with extra steps. Same debt, new packaging, higher costs.
Fuck. No. Wait, no, this is not fixing the economy at all. This is actually just making prices go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. No, this is making prices go even higher. How about no? Pay it all the way or don't have it, bro.
Option 4. Emergency bailouts. When Kiwi Bank faced $30 million in exposure from Laybuys collapse, it revealed the
Niggas go economy this, economy that, economy this, economy that. Nigga, you're the reason why the economy is fucked up. You are the reason the economy is messed up. You are the reason. Economy this, economy that. What are you talking about, bro? Bro, you don't even realize what you're doing. You're a part of the economy. You consume. How will there be any producers if there's no consumers? Consumers can just fix it. You can fix it on your end. Either pay for it or don't pay for it. Fix the fucking economy, smartass.
systemic risk.
The only way these prices could drop is if you stop paying for shit that you don't need. Then people will realize, oh, we gotta drop our prices. Just don't pay for it. You're an active process in this economy, dude. Realize that and you succeed.
If enough retailers and banks are exposed, governments might intervene to prevent broader economic damage. But bailouts mean taxpayers foot the bill. Your tax dollars cleaning up venture capital's mess. BNPL was never sustainable. It was a venture capital experiment in human psychology, subsidized by billions in investment money. For 5 years, investors paid for your split payments.
Whoo! Thanks, Warren Buffett. Thanks, Warren Buffett. Yo, bro. Oh my God, bro. That was funny. No, that was fucking funny, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Like, for the past 5 years, just rich ass niggas have been paying for broke nigga mistakes. And like, bro, tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Look at you broke ass niggas. Still broke. Y'all don't got no money. Y'all are even more broke than before. Y'all want things to be free and that shit does not fucking work. Y'all don't even listen. And nigga, I'm nah, I'm playing.
To find profitability that doesn't exist. Now the bill comes due and everyone pays. Retailers through losses and fees, consumers through higher prices and collapsed services, taxpayers through potential bailouts, investors through worthless equity. The party's over. Traditional credit won. Or will this morph into a new kind of product we're not seeing coming? If you're interested in how tech is reshaping finance, maybe you've wondered what actually happens behind the scenes when you tap your card to buy your morning coffee. If so, have a look at this video.
Yo, this channel is fucking tough. His name is Blackline. As Mongol brought us here, you're doing the Lord's work. Facts, as Mongol did bring us here. Alright, this was a good one. I'm not gonna lie, bro. If y'all are falling for this stupid shit, you're stupid. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I could never fall for this. Anyways, bread! Where we talk that bread! I'm out.